Now we are going to do a very interesting topic called the phrasal verbs. English language abounds with a lot of phrases, that is verb plus preposition or verb plus adverb or verb plus adjective. Now we are going to settle out how these phrasal verbs are used in sentences, because English language becomes enriched by the usage of these phrasal verbs. Okay? Mostly these phrasal verbs will have a preposition attached to it. Okay. Now I am just going to give you in the alphabetical order a few phrasal verbs, and you are going to do it in sentences. I will give you an example for each phrasal verb, and then I will give you a test as usual, giving you a few phrasal verbs and you have to make sentences. Is that okay? Let's go on now. I am going to work out a few phrases. I will give you the meaning and how it can be utilized in a sentence. Okay? I am going to start in the alphabetical order, that is A. I will just give you account for. Account for is explain the reason, or answer for. Okay? Account for means explain the reason. You have to give an account for whatever has happened. That means you have to explain the reason as to why it has happened. Or give me an account for this expenditure, means give me an answer for this, or give me an account for what I have asked you. So you have to give me the answer for. I'll just give you an example sentence, and then you can practice it in usage. I can't account for the unusual behavior of the students in the class. I can't account for. What does it mean? I can't explain the reason for the unusual behavior of the students in the class. Now, do you understand how to use it? Explain the reason. Account for means explain the reason or answer for a situation or whatever it is. So, I can't account for the unusual behavior of the students in the class. Okay? Next one. Back out. Back out. Back out means withdraw . Withdraw from promise. Okay? Withdraw from promise. That is, you have promised somebody something, and when you back out, you are going away from the promise. You are withdrawing from the promise. You are going back on your promise. That's what it means. Okay? Now, we will just see it in sentence. He agreed to help but backed out in the last moment. He agreed to help but backed out in the last moment. Okay? That is, he withdrew from promise. First he would have promised his friend that he would come and help, but last minute or last moment he backed out. That means he withdrew from the promise. Next one. Bear with. Bear with is actually tolerate, okay, or cooperate, to show patience. Or to tolerate. To show patience or to tolerate some situation. I had to bear with all the problems that I was facing in the family. That means I had to tolerate or I had to show patience with all that was happening around me. Okay, that is bear with. Now I'll give you a sentence. In view of heavy losses, suffered by the company, the shareholders were asked to bear with. The shareholders were asked to bear with. In view of heavy losses suffered by the company, the shareholders were asked to bear with. Now, you just put this meaning over there to show more patience or to tolerate the situation. Okay? Next one. Break down. Break down means to collapse. To collapse or stop functioning. To collapse emotionally also, you can say. When her father died, Sona broke down. That means she collapsed emotionally. Okay. Now stop functioning. You can even say that the bus broke down due to puncture or due to some problem in the machine or engine. Okay. So it can also mean stop functioning. That is, when the bus engine in the bus stops functioning, it can break down. Okay. So the phrase break down means to collapse emotionally or to stop functioning. Let's see it in a sentence now. While giving evidence in the court, Smita broke down. Past tense of breakdown is broke down. So what is this? Break, bear, back, account, all these are verbs. That is why we call it the phrasal verbs. And along with that we have a preposition or an adverb. Okay. Now let's see the sentence. Breakdown, to collapse or stop functioning. While giving evidence in the court, Smita broke down. That is emotionally, to collapse emotionally. The other usage is stop functioning is when the vehicle breaks down on the way. That is to stop functioning. Okay, next one. Break into. The same word break, when the preposition changes, the meaning also changes. Break down has a different meaning, whereas break into has a different, entirely different meaning. Enter by force. The meaning of it is enter by force. The robbers broke into my neighbor's house last night. The robbers broke into my neighbor's house last night. Okay, now if you see, break into means enter by force. Now what did the robbers do? The robbers broke into my neighbor's house last night. Will any robber ask for permission? Will they knock at the door and say, may I come in, and then enter a house? They always break into. That is, they enter by force. Okay. So the robbers broke into my house, neighbor's house last night. Shall we have a quick run through for all these 5 phrasal verbs? I'll be giving you more. You've just begun with A and B. First one, account for. Explain the reason or answer for. I can't account for the unusual behavior of the students in the class. So account for, explain the reason. I cannot explain why they behave like that. I just don't know. I can't account for it. Okay, that's what it means. Next phrasal verb is back out. Withdraw from promise. This happens many times in our day-to-day life. They promise something, but they do not keep it up, so they withdraw from their promise. When you're not keeping up your promise, you are backing out of a situation. Usually when people go through some problematic situation in life, they back out from their promises. Okay, or they withdraw from their promises. Okay, let's see the sentence now. He agreed to help, but backed out in the last moment. For example, when somebody has promised to help his friend during his daughter's wedding with a sum of 2 lakhs for the expenses, and on the eve of the wedding, when he says, I'm sorry, I can't help, then that means back out, withdraw from promise. First he has promised, but then he has backed out. So he agreed to help, but backed out in the last moment, withdrawing from promise. Next, what we are going to see is bear with. Bear with means nothing to carry or so. This is just to show patience, to show patience or to tolerate. Okay? let's see the sentence now. In view of heavy losses suffered by the company, the shareholders were asked to bear with. In view, that is, the company knows that they are going to suffer a heavy loss in the near future, maybe in the next month or so. So, the shareholders are called for a meeting, and the company CEO or the managing director tells them, you have to bear with us. The company is undergoing a loss. So, bear with means to tolerate the situation or to show more patience. Now, showing patience, we can talk about this phrase in the family situation. You can just say Sita's mother-in-law is a very arrogant lady, but she has to bear with her in order to keep her husband happy. This is a very normal situation in every family. Bear with means to show more patience and to tolerate. Okay, I'm sure you get the meaning of that phrasal verb, bear with. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Break down, to collapse or stop functioning, break down. We can even say Mary broke into tears when she heard that her parents were killed in the accident. Okay, Mary broke down into tears. Broke down means to collapse, that is emotionally collapse. That is, you have come to a very difficult situation and you're not able to emotionally withstand that situation, so you emotionally collapse, that is breakdown. Or also I told any vehicle on the road, when it stops and it's not moving further, it's refusing to move further, then we just say, my car broke down on the way. That is when the engine fails or some other snare in the mechanism of the car, then you say, my car broke down on the way. Okay, so break down means to collapse emotionally or to stop functioning. Let's see the sentence now. While giving evidence in the court, Smitha broke down. So when Smitha was giving evidence about some murder or some theft or whatever in the court, she broke down. She started crying. You could have seen in movies and all, when somebody is giving an evidence, sometimes they become emotionally upset and they collapse. They start sobbing or crying. So while giving evidence in the court, Smitha broke down. I hope you understand now. To collapse emotionally. Next one, break into. Break into means enter by force. The robbers broke into my neighbor's house last night. Or we can just say, when we were having a very heated argument, you can just say, my friend broke into the room. That is, enter by force, okay? He just broke into the room. Or when I was talking to my friend, my father broke into the room and started screaming at me, why are you wasting your time? So, enter by force, okay? It's not only robbers, even other people can break into. Actually, the normal manners is you have to knock at the door, and only if you hear the words, yes, come in, you can go. But if you just open the door and barge in, that is breaking into. So it can be done by any of our friends or relatives, or even by robbers when they break open the door and enter and they steal. It can also be like when so-and-so, when my friend saw his sister trying to hang from the fan or so. He broke into the room. That is to. You can't simply say, my dear sister, may I come in? You can't say. So at that time they have to forcefully get into the room, enter by force. Okay, now I hope you've understood this break into, this phrase break into. Okay, so I've given you 5 verbal phrases and you're going to do many more so that you can speak fluently and you can also enrich your language. That is, English is a beautiful language and when you use all these phrasal verbs, it is enriched. I hope you carry out all these examples in your daily life also. Okay, we've seen 5. Now we are going on to the 6th one. And I'm explaining how to go about with the phrasal verbs in sentences of your own. Okay, the next one that I'm going to give is break out. Now, break into I gave. Now I'm giving you break out. Same word with a different preposition has an entirely different meaning. Break out. Okay, break out means to spread. War or epidemic. Okay. That is, breakout means to spread war or to spread an epidemic. It can mean anything. The fear that the deadly virus of AIDS has broken into the whole of India is a false, is a rumor. The fear that the deadly virus AIDS has broken into. Break into, broken into, broke into, any tense you can use because these are all verbs. A verb plus preposition. Okay? The fear that the deadly virus AIDS has broken into means to spread. The spread of epidemic into the whole of India is a rumor. Okay? Next one. Breakthrough. Breakthrough means discover a secret. Or a session, a major achievement. Discover a secret or a major achievement is called breakthrough. Okay. Now, for example, I say the police had a complete breakthrough in the murder of the young lady. That means they discovered the secret of how the young lady was murdered. Or Louis Pasteur's finding of the vaccine for smallpox was a great breakthrough in the field of medicine. Okay, that means a major achievement. Now, I'll give you a sentence for you to write down. There is no hope of breakthrough in the murder case of the old lady. There is no hope of breakthrough in the murder case of the old lady. Breakthrough. Or you can even say the murder case of the actress or the murder case of the actor. Only when somebody very great is murdered, you have to check into all the details, isn't it? So a breakthrough means to discover any secret. When we talk about the advancement in science, you can use it in that aspect. That is a major achievement. Okay, that is finding out or discovering petrol from or the fuel from water or from herbs is a great breakthrough in the field of science, you can say. Earlier we've heard that with some herbs and water you can make a fuel, isn't it, to make cars and bikes run. So that was a major achievement, but later it was proved false anyway. So all these, a breakthrough means either discovering a secret or coming out with a major achievement in any field. Next one. Bring. We are going to see bring about. Bring about. You can bring about, that is cause to happen. Cause to happen. That's what it means. You can bring about a change in the economy. If we say you can cause a change to happen, that's what it means. The administration helped to bring about a peaceful settlement. Okay, now in case a few workers are going on a strike and the administration of the company calls them and they try to attain a peaceful settlement, we call that action as to bring about. That is cause to happen. You can bring about a complete change in the society with your newfangled ideas. Okay, bring about. That means cause to happen. Next one. Again, I'm going to give you on bring up. bring up, you can just say rearing. Rearing means to bring about, to make them grow, or to also we say educate. Okay, if I say bringing up boys in a family is very, it is very, or you need a lot of patience to bring up a bunch of naughty boys in your family. Okay, so that bringing up is like rearing, or bringing up a new system in the curriculum is welcome, is most welcomed, means to educate, to bring out a new change in the field of education. Okay, now let's see a sentence now. Fathers are playing a major role these days, okay, not before, in the rearing of, or in the bringing up, okay, in bringing up their children. Bring up can be even bringing up. Now, earlier they used to give maternity leave for women who give birth to their little babies. But these days, they are giving even paternal leave. Okay, maternal leave has become even paternal leave. So, even for the fathers, they are giving leave these days. So, I am giving you the sentence here. Fathers are playing a major role these days in bringing up their children. So, they also have a major role. Those days, only women were supposed to be fully or totally in charge of bringing up children. But these days, even fathers are playing a major role. Okay, I hope you know now the meaning of bringing up. The next one, call for. Call for, you can use it as called for or calling for. Call for means necessary or require. His answer was not called for. If I say, that is your reply to this answer is not called for, or your presence for the meeting is not called for. It is not necessary. Okay, it is not required. Okay, that's what it means. Now let's see in a sentence. I'll write down here. For the unity of two nations, the unity of the people in a nation, disputes are not called for. Okay, I've just given call for, I've changed it to called for. For the unity of the people in a nation, disputes are not called for. That means disputes are not necessary. So we have to do away with all that and we have to bring about peace in the nation. Okay? That's what is happening in our country also most of the time. Disputes here and there, and that may be an obstruction to the unity of the people. That is, disputes in the form of religion or language may only cause enmity between people. So it is not called for, it is not necessary, or it is not required. Okay. Next one. I'll give you another one with call off. Call off. To cease or stop. Okay, to stop. Due to some reason, the strike was called off. Was called off means it is stopped. Call off is to cease or to stop. Due to some reason, the strike was called off. That means the strike was stopped. It ceased. Okay? Due to some reason. Last one I'll give you. Call out. To ask for help. The police was called out to patrol the problematic area. Okay, the police was called out to patrol the problematic area. That means they were asked to come and help out to maintain peace and order in the problematic area. Okay, have I underlined? Call out. We have here around 7 sentences, and let's quickly have a run through of these sentences. First one, break out. Break out is to spread either war or epidemic. Okay, to spread a war or epidemic. The fear that the deadly virus AIDS has broken into the whole of India is just a rumor. It's a rumor. Next one, breakthrough. Now breakout, you can also say the war broke out between India and Pakistan or India and China. So we can also use it for a war. Whether it is an epidemic or a war, we can use this breakout. Next one, breakthrough. Breakthrough is to discover a secret or also to make a major achievement, also a major progress in some field. Okay? There is no hope of breakthrough in the murder case of the old lady. Or you can also say Thomas Alva Edison's discovery of thought of the electric bulb is a great breakthrough in the field of science. So it is a great or major achievement. Next one, bring about, cause to happen. The administration helped to bring about a peaceful settlement. That is, cause to happen or make things happen. Bring about means to make something happen. So what did the administration do? It helped to cause or make it happen. What did it make it happen? A peaceful settlement. Next one, bring up. Bring up means to rear or to educate. Now, rearing means that is to nurture and to give all the support in bringing up the children. Like for example, fathers are playing a major role these days in bringing up their children. Fathers are playing a major role, that is a very important role these days, not in olden days, these days, in bringing up their children. I have to bring up a new policy in education means to educate the people or to cause a change in the field of education. Okay, that's what it means. Or we can also say, don't bring up this matter when we are discussing. Don't rear or don't bring up means to don't come and introduce a new topic when we are already discussing a different thing. That's what it means. Next one, call for. Call for means necessary or require. If we say called for or calling for, we can use it in any tense. It is a necessity or a requirement, we can say. For the unity of the people in a nation, disputes are not called for. That is, when we want the people in a nation to stay in peace with each other, we should not encourage, or it is not necessary to have disputes. Disputes are not called for means we should not have any differences of opinion or disputes among them. Then we cannot have any peace in the nation. So the requirement is no disputes. Okay. Call off. Call off is to cease or stop. Due to some reason, the strike, the bus strike or any other strike, the officer strike or the government officers, government workers, menials, anything. Due to some reason, the strike was called off. That is, the strike came to an end. The strike stopped or ceased to function. Okay, call off. Next one, call out. You can ask for help, call out. As I wanted to cross the road, I called out for help. I called out to another man who was standing there. Or the blind man called out to his neighbor to make him cross or to help him cross the road. Now here we have another sentence. The police was called out to patrol the problematic area. That is, they were called to come and help out in the problematic area. Okay. So we have now 7 sentences. Try to make use of them in different contexts with the correct meanings, and you can enhance your language skills. I hope you do it.